Something which sometimes comes up, question which comes up, regarding whether or not itikaf is something which is solely a practice during the last 10 days of Ramadan or not. Is it?
As far as itikaf being done only in the last 10 days of Ramadan, it is not a must. Since itikaf, as I mentioned, is voluntary, unless you make a vow, it's a sunnah. It can be done in any day of the year. But according to Imaam An he says, the best itikaf is when you're fasting, that's the month of Ramadan. And the best day in the month of Ramadan is the last 10 days. So the best preferable days are the last 10 days of Ramadan. But you can do any other day of Ramadan, any other day of the year. And when Shaykh Nasruddin al-Albani was asked this question that can itikaf be done any day or only in the last 10 days of Ramadan, he gave the same reply that it is preferable, it is mustahab. It's encouraged to do itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan because of seeking Lailatul Qadr. Otherwise, it can be done any day of Ramadan, any day of the year. It's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 8, in the Book of Oaths and Vows, Hadith number 6697. Hadrat Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, in the days of ignorance, in Yawm al-Jahiliyyah, before he accepted Islam, he had vowed that he would do itikaf for one night in the Masjid al-Haram. And the Prophet said, fulfill your vow. That means, Hadrat Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, he did itikaf in one of the nights, any night of the year. It's further mentioned in Sahih Muslim, volume number 2, in the Book of Fasting, Hadith number 2641, that the Prophet did itikaf for the first 10 days of Shawwal. It's mentioned in Sahih Muslim, volume number 2, in the Book of Fasting, Hadith number 2627, that the Prophet did itikaf for the full month of Ramadan. The first 10 days of Ramadan, then the middle 10 days, then the last 10 days. It's further mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 3, in the Book of Ietikaaf, Hadith number 2044, that the Prophet did itikaf for 20 days in the month of Ramadan before he died. That means the last time he did itikaf, just before he died, last Ramadan of his life, he did itikaf for the last 20 days. And it's mentioned in the Hadith that because Archangel Gabriel, he rehearsed with him the Quran twice, therefore he did for 20 days. And it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 3, in the Book of Ietikaaf, Hadith number 2026, that the Prophet used to do itikaf for the last 10 days of Ramadan. And after he died, his wife continued with the practice. So it indicates that doing itikaf in the last 10 days, it's preferable, it's the best. Otherwise, you can do itikaf in any other day of Ramadan, any other day of the year.
Jazakallah khair, Doctor.